so much for choosing to watch this video. If you are not yet a subscriber, kindly hit the subscribe button. My name is Fisayo, and in this video, I'm going to be talking about how to humanize your ChatGPT-inspired article. Your favorite WCW on Instagram, who is, by the way, a big name in the social media management sector and of who I am signed to our email list, sent a newsletter a few days back, and I could immediately spot that it was written by AI. I've used ChatGPT to generate written content oftentimes, and I realized that sometimes it sounds too robotic, sometimes it sounds almost too accurate. So what I do is whenever it generates content for me, I pick up that content and I go back to rewrite it. So immediately I started reading the article, I just couldn't continue because I knew in that moment that she wasn't the one talking to me. This is someone I've read from countless times, so I knew how she sounds, I knew how she speaks, I knew her personality because I've heard her speak so many times. While it is great to be able to use artificial intelligence to create content, and trust me, the possibilities of AI are enormous, they are astronomical, we still need to be able to infuse our humanity into the content that it helps us to create. As writers, whether we write articles, whether we write blog posts, whether we write social media content, whether we write web copies, newsletters, whatever it is that we write, we need to ensure that artificial intelligence doesn't dilute our brand voice and doesn't make our pieces read like a PhD project. Now, with that said, how then can you humanize your ChatGPT content? Number one, put your personality into that piece of content. So your audience should not be able to tell whether it was AI that wrote the content for you. In fact, they should not even begin to contemplate. It should come across immediately that you wrote it, even if you used AI. Chances are people already know your brand voice, people already know how you speak, people already know how you write. So if they are reading a 500-word article, or they're reading a copy from you and they cannot spot your lingua, they cannot spot your personality, it feels strange to them. I know, at least that's how I felt when I was reading the newsletter. It was beginning to feel as if I was reading a PhD project, a document from a PhD project. I scanned through the entire newsletter to see if I could even catch something that sounded like her, something that felt like her, but I couldn't. So you want to use a lot of casual language, like the one you use to communicate on a daily basis, like the one your audience understands and can recognize, the one your customers are used to. It can be written by AI, right? But it still needs to be on brand. So infuse your personality into it. Number two, use a lot of empathy. AI is not anybody's friend, right? So it's not going to care about anybody when it's dishing out answers, when it's generating responses to your prompts. You need to rewrite your content so that it sounds more friendly and more human. It is you that know who your audience is. It is you that know the people that read from you. So you want to pick up whatever AI has written for you and then rewrite it, tailor it into a piece that they will understand. Writing with empathy, involves writing from the other person's perspective. You want to write in a way that makes them realize that you understand how they are feeling, and so it's about putting yourself in their shoes. You also want to write conversationally. Okay, so when AI has generated something for you, you want to rewrite it. Write to your audience in a way that you would talk to them face to face, or in a way that you will speak to them on video. So while AI will make your content sound formal, you want to determine when and where you want that formal tone to show up, when and where you want the friendly tone to show up, and you want to also determine how to now infuse personality, infuse empathy into every line or every sentence or every paragraph. Psychopaths lack empathy. You don't want to be a psychopath. So just rewrite it in a way that is friendly and in a way that understands the challenges that the people you are writing to are facing. Let it sound as if you are writing to a friend. Number three, change the grammar. I know you think that because it was written by AI, it's going to be perfect all around. But you will be shocked to find out that sometimes this ChatGPT content can be wrong, it can be inaccurate, and it can just not make sense. If you log into ChatGPT here, it says may occasionally generate incorrect information, may occasionally generate harmful instructions. So they are putting the caveat out there for you to understand, so that you don't just copy and paste directly from the dashboard and throw it to your audience, throw it to your newsletter, throw it online. A machine may have reading the text, right? But a human has to read it, a human has to digest it, a human has to speak it. So you want it to sound natural, you want it to flow smoothly, and you can do that by going through it to check for the grammar issues. So I know AI misuses prepositions, but I can't really say if AI has written any incorrect spelling or grammar. I don't really know about that, but you still need to check. Number 4, do a series of fact checking. Sometimes the source for the facts that it's giving you is flat out wrong. You want to make sure that you do a lot of fact checking before publishing the content that it has generated. So if you do that, you'll be able to quote reputable sources like many all these veteran writers do. You'll be able to quote correct sources. This way you are accurate, you are sure that the data that is giving you is genuine, is accurate. Only if you fact check. You want to make sure that your data is accurate enough because you want to build credibility. And don't think that you can rely on artificial intelligence to do all the work for you. You still need to sit down and fact check every data that it generates for you. So what can you do? Copy and paste it into Google, find out what people are saying, go back to books, go back to old magazines, newspapers, ask people, find out if the fact that it is quoting is accurate. Number 5, which is the last but not the least, is to add stories. This is like the most important things of all important things when it comes to writing content. So I told a story at the beginning of this video, and the incident actually prompted me to film this video. That's why I told the story at the beginning. So from my story, I've been able to give examples of how to make sure that the particular mistake does not happen. Storytelling is a very powerful skill in marketing, because when you include storytelling in your content, you communicate your messages better because people can relate to those stories. Stories will give more context to your writing, and they will help that piece that you've written flow more naturally. People will remember a story because they see themselves in the narratives. We have similar stories, similar things happen to us. So if you are talking about how you got duped by someone, you're talking about how you bought the wrong item, people can relate to that. So whether you use AI to help for your content, or you go at it alone, you want to always include stories in every piece of content that you write on this internet. So including stories just typically help you to humanize your content, and they help you to improve your business marketing. So that's my take on how to humanize any ChatGPT content that you write. So you can use ChatGPT to generate web copies. You can use ChatGPT to generate social media content. You can ask it a random question. Always ensure that you check it so that it looks a lot human. It sounds a lot human. Alright, so that's what we're going to be stopping in this video. If you love this content, give it a thumbs up. I hope it helps. And if you also love this content, subscribe to this channel, and don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Fisayo. I will see you in the next video.